there. Today, let us see how many are in. Which chapter is going on?
Sir, confronting marginalization.
Confronting marginalization. Yesterday we discussed about Article 15, Article 17 of Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights. My voice is clear or echoing?
Yes, sir. It is clear, sir.
Eighteen participants.
Yes, sir.
18 minus 1, 17 are there. Difficult. Ganesh. Okay, can you tell me the syllabus?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Sir, voice.
Yeah. Syllabus for examination. Abhinav. Huh?
5 chapters 6. Second chapter, chapter 4.
Uday. Voice is not clear. Okay. Yesterday we discussed about the law, the invoking fundamental rights, Article 17 of Indian Constitution. We also discussed about Article 15 of Indian Constitution. Article 17 of Indian Constitution abolishes what?
Untouchability, sir.
Untouchability.
Yes, sir.
And
Untouchability.
don't repeat the answers. Article 17 of Indian Constitution abolishes untouchability, practice which was there in Hinduism. Article 15 of the Indian Constitution ensures equality for all the citizens, irrespective of their gender, caste, religion, economic or social status. So, fundamental rights, another important topic we discussed yesterday is cultural and educational rights. Cultural and education right protects the interest of minority. Every minority religion in India can protect their culture, their language, and their customs and traditions because Constitution guarantees the cultural and education rights to all the citizens of the country. This topic yesterday we discussed. These are all the things done by the Constitution of India. Today, let us discuss what are the laws passed by the government. What are the laws passed by the government to protect the interest of minorities or marginalized communities? So it is mentioned here, there are specific laws and policies for marginalized communities in our country. There are policies or schemes that emerge through other means like setting up of committee or undertaking survey. The government then makes an effort to promote such policies in order to give opportunity for a specific groups. So today let us discuss what are the policies introduced by the government or the laws introduced by the government for the protection of minority rights. The first one is promoting of social justice. Now, what is called as social justice? Social justice means providing equal opportunity for all the citizens in the society. So, whenever we speak about promotion of social justice, what are the steps taken by the government of India as well as respective state governments to provide education and other facilities to the children belongs to the Dalits and Adivasi community. Yes, you please write down this point. What happened? Please write down this point. Promoting social justice. Write down the point. First point you write down, that is laws for marginalized. Laws for marginalized. This is a laws for marginalized. You have to write. Out of that, you have to write what is the meaning for laws for marginalized means the laws introduced by the government to protect the interest of marginalized community. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Where?
There is a loss of, there is a problem with the internet connection with the school. Okay, that's the reason there was a disconnection in between.
Okay, sir.
It is clear.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
it is audible, sir, now.
Please write down laws for marginalized. Laws for marginalized topic, please write down. The laws for marginalized. I repeat once again, what is the meaning of laws for marginalized means? Rules and regulations or the policies passed by the government to protect the interest of marginalized community in our country. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In that you write the first point, this one. What is that? Point number 1, promoting social justice. Promoting social justice. Now, what is the meaning of justice? What is the meaning of justice? Justice means fair treatment. Fair treatment. Justice is not equal treatment. Justice is called as fair treatment. Means treatment to a person's according to his requirement and is according to his need. Have you remember I explained it topic called fair trial? Do you
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is fair trial?
Every accused has a right to get a fair trial to
Ah,
prove
what is
his
fair
innocence.
trial means? It is not equal trial. There's a difference between equal and fair. Fair trial means each according to his needs, each according to his requirement. Take for example, what is called social justice means if Dalit required support by the government in form of money or any other aspects, scholarship, the government will provide them. But government will not provide support to the economically advanced communities or the economically well-to-do communities. The government will not be providing. Equality means what? Government should provide equal for all. It is not like that. It is called justice. Justice in the sense, if the government feels Dalits and Adivasi, they are deprived communities, since they are deprived community, they need special requirement by the government. So that's the reason why the government will give a lot of importance to them. That's what we are calling social justice. Example is given here. You see, according to the promotion of social justice, government provide free or subsidized hostel for students of Dalits and Adivasis. Those who are there in the taluk places, you may be observed that there are hostels called OBC hostels, or the hostels for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, hostels for Muslims. Have you observed anywhere like near
Yes, sir.
near
Murarji schools.
Moraji schools, near Kendriya Vidyalaya in Bijapur, near to that one building, one hostel is there. That hostel is exclusively for minority girls. That means Muslim girls. Like each taluk places is having a hostel for backward caste, Dalits and Adivasi. Sarvajanika, what is that called? Social Welfare Department in Karnataka. Samajika Kalyana Khate.
Yes, sir.
Uma Shri was the previous minister for the Social Welfare Department. In some of you, take for example in our own school, some of you may get the scholarship even though if you are belongs to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So, what is the policy by the government? Subsidized hostels. Subsidized hostels means hostels with the free food and accommodation. For whom? For Dalits and Adivasi community. So, this is one of the facility by the government to promote social justice. Second one, in addition to providing certain facility, the government also operates through the laws, ensure concrete steps to taken and equality. One such law was policy is reservation policy. Today, significant and highly contentious policy. How many of you heard about reservation policy?
Yes, sir. I have heard.
In our school only, reservation policy is there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, for SC ST cutoff will be different, and for general cutoff will be different. For them, reservation will be different. For us, different.
Very
Friends category.
in our school, like when you write entrance examination, cutoff mark for general candidates and cutoff mark for defense candidates and cutoff marks for SC/ST is different. What is the cutoff marks means? In case if 3000 cadets wrote examination, the first one is top in the merit is the topper in both the papers. Okay. The cutoff may be 95 in maths or 90 in the maths. But when it comes to the case of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in our school, the cutoff will be very less. Same with the case of ex-servicemen. Ex-servicemen also cutoff will be less. Like that, in India, even in the government jobs also, reservation is given to the Dalits and Adivasis. There are many posts in government, like government post. The cutoff requirement or the merit for the Dalits and Adivasis are different from the general. So that is what the policy of reservation. So it is clearly said that the policy of reservation, the law which reserves seats in education and government employment for Dalits and Adivasis are based on an important argument that in a society like ours, where centuries sections of population have been denied opportunity to learn and work in order to develop a new skills or vocation, a democratic government needs to step and assist the section. Now, question here is that how many of you are supporting reservation policy?
No, sir.
Why no?
I'm not supporting.
Why?
Sir, because first it was correct. Means people, Dalits and Adivasis are very poor in literacy. Means literature means they were illiterate. Now all has become ulta type. They are also not studying, and now it is like injustice for general people. They are getting reservation policy, though they are what they are literate, and it is like injustice, sir. Now.
Okay, Ajay Shetty. Good. Any others who are supporting reservation policy?
No, sir. I am also not supporting.
No, sir.
Every people
I'm
are
also
not
not
getting.
Policy
supporting,
should
sir.
not be in the field of education.
One by one.
No, sir, not supporting.
Okay. Those are not supporting. Can you put forward one more argument?
Reservation policy should not be in the field of education.
chance due to this policy.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And if some person, sir, who is belonging to marginalized community, if he is economically strong, sir, then also he is getting he or she is getting reservation, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, any other arguments different than what we just now told? Why reservation policy should not? Why you are not supporting reservation policy? Okay. Initially, the government of India uh, mentioned that reservation policy should be given because Dalits and Adivasis in India, they were deprived of rights since centuries. Like if you read the book related to lifestyle of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, when B.R. Ambedkar was a child, he suffered a lot because of his caste. Okay. He was not allowed to sit in a normal bench and study in the school because he belongs to Dalits. He was not allowed to even drink water from a tap which was there in the school. He is supposed to walk nearly 2 kilometers away from the school to drink water. So there is a history where series of exploitation on Dalits and Adivasis. So that is the reason why when Indian Constitution was framed, reservation policy was introduced to Dalits and Adivasis initially for 10 years. Are you with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So
But
those
Congress government
those
continued.
days it was justified. Those days it was justified because take for example, if A and B, if Shobhanaditya or Ashutosh Yadav, two are there, and Ashutosh is having 1,000 rupees, Shobhan is having 100 rupees, and I ask that both of you go and purchase certain items in the market. So naturally, who gets more advantage?
Last question.
Ashutosh is having more advantage because he is having more money. Now, if I say Shobhan and Ashutosh both are equal, then it's wrong because one is having more money, one is having
Less money.
less
Less
money.
money.
So initially, when government introduced the policy, they said that we will help someone who is deprived so many centuries, years, or so many years. We will help him so that he can compete with the others. So the very purpose of reservation policy was so it was good policy when it was introduced. In the sense, take for example, I am asking 5 people to run a race, but out of 5, 4 are they are good, but fifth one is limping. He got a problem. But if I made to run with the disabled with the able people, then it is an injustice to him. So, but unfortunately, after 10 years, the government should have been stopped this reservation policy.
Yes.
But
Yes, sir.
instead of
For
stopping
political-
reservation policy, now day by day, each government, let it be BJP, let it be Congress, let it be state governments in Karnataka state or any other states, day by day,
For their
day
political.
by day, every new caste is adding to reservation policy. So
Yes, sir.
It is increasing in percent, sir.
yeah, it is increasing now. Now every political party making reservation policy as one of their powerful agenda to gain vote. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
we cannot blame the person who is getting reservation because it is not his decision. Decision is of it is whose decision?
Government,
Political
Government.
people.
Government decision.
Government decision.
But
Reservation is there in election also. Who will stand election? One time SC ST should be there. In other time general should be there, like that. MLA election.
that is their reservation is there for the certain communities. Take for example Bijapur. Bijapur MP constituency is reserved for SC. Okay, like Bijapur MP Ramesh Jigjingi, Bijapur from Bijapur Lok Sabha constituency only scheduled caste can contest. No others can contest. This is their Bijapur is SC constituency from last 3 tenures. That means from last 15 years. It may change after because constitution says that certain percent of seats are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe even in Lok Sabha and even in Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. But what I mean to say, reservation policy initially started with the good intention of providing opportunities for all the citizens so that they can compete with others. But recently, you see, one of the positive point in the reservation policy is that the government of India recently introduced a reservation policy based on economic frontiers. Means based on your financial background also you can claim a reservation. Now you see, you get a reservation called rural candidates. That's a reservation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You get a reservation because you come under Hyderabad, Karnataka. Article
Yes, sir.
371. Okay. You get
And Kannada medium and English.
Kannada medium reservation is there. Article 371 reservation is there. Rural background reservation is there. Lingais, Gauda, Okkaliga. Now every person is coming under reservation in one or other way.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Please.
Sir, in reservation policies now they have improved now, sir. So now most of the members have improved now, sir. So they can stop it now, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now question is that
Yes, sir.
the question is that
But
who will bell the cat? A political party which cancel all type of reservation, they will not get elected in the next election. At least for 100 years, they will not come to
They
power.
will be opposed.
Yes, sir. They will lose votes.
Do you think that any such a bold step any political party will take?
No, sir.
no,
They
sir.
No,
can
sir.
take, na, sir. If SC ST people oppose, then how general people will, however, vote, na, sir. Means they will.
Question,
But the voting will be less than the people of other opposition candidate.
now what happened now in India, reservation is not there only for SC STs. Reservation is there for SC, ST, Adivasi, Muslims. That, many are there coming under reservation now. Question comes here, which reservation policy should be stopped? Is it for Dalits? Is it for Adivasis? Is it for minorities? So we have initially reservation was there only for Dalits, Adivasis. Now number of caste coming under reservation is increased. Don't you think it is very complex policy to stop?
Yes, sir. Supreme Court can take back that policy, no, sir.
Supreme Court can take a decision on this. Actually, what happened? No, Mandal Commission in 1980s, VP Mandal during the time of VP Singh, Vishwanath Pratap Singh. He was a prime minister of the country. At that time, before the during the election, he promised that if his party is voted for the power, he will introduce reservation for SCBCs, socially and educationally backward caste. Later, they were called as OBC. Now, instead of reducing reservation, after 1980s, the reservation was increased and given for a OBC also. Now you see from last 2 years, I think, in Sainik school, entrance examination, now reservation is given for
OBC also, sir.
OBC also.
OBC.
OBC also. Now you see 23% reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, 27% reservation for OBC. That makes 50%. And 20% reservation for ex-servicemen makes 70%.
Different quotas.
So instead of reducing reservation policy, if the government is want to reduce the reservation policy, but instead of that, government is increasing reservation policy or bringing more people, more caste under reservation policy. So
Now it is unfair for generals, sir.
Yes, sir.
now the question
Yes, sir.
comes here. The question comes here: who is a general now? Who is general?
Employees,
Who is general?
government employees.
People
Government.
who are apart from SC and STs.
No, no.
Yes.
Question.
Workers, sir.
No, question comes here.
Sir, government workers.
Government.
Now take for example, your father, your parents are working in a government department. You may call yourself as general, but imagine if you are from Gulbarga. If you are from Gulbarga, then you come under Article 371 reservation according to North Karnataka. Don't you think the student who is from Raichur, Gulbarga, nearby places, he can get a seat under Article 370, Kalyana Karnataka. Don't you think that's a reservation?
Sir, Article 370, what it tells, sir?
You don't know Article 371. What is Article 370? That gives a reservation for the children who are students from Hyderabad, Karnataka.
Yes, sir. I heard.
Hyderabad, Karnataka. Now the question comes here. You may call yourself as a general in Sainik school, but when you apply for government of Karnataka or government of India, then you may be coming under
Reservation.
reservation in one or other way.
Yes, sir.
So that's the reason why it said it's a very, very complex policy. It's a very complex policy, and at any cost, no political party want to stop the reservation policy. Now, only one place there is no reservation is that is in NDA. If you're writing UPSC examination, national
Yes, sir.
in NDA, there is no reservation. It's purely merit. Okay, that's
Only-
purely merit. If you cleared UPSC examination, SSB you have to clear. Medically you get fit. Then you have to clear your interview and all those things. There is zero reservation policy. But other than NDA, in all walks of the life, I think one or other way, there's a reservation policy. So please try to understand. Reservation policy is a policy by the government initially introduced to provide support to the marginalized Dalits and Adivasi community. But over a period of time, reservation policy was used by the political parties for their personal gains.
For the sake of getting elected again, sir, they are increasing.
Yes. That is true. Okay. This is same thing. The cutoff marks of Dalits are different. Okay. So we studied about two laws passed by the government. One is the Dalits and Adivasis are given scholarship by the government of Karnataka and government of India. That is the one policy is taken by the government to promote social justice. Second, Dalits, Adivasis and marginalized community, hostels are open, subsidized fees, free food and accommodation is given so that it's a support for them to get education. The third point which we discussed is Dalits, Adivasis and marginalized communities coming under reservation policy. The reservation policy provides importance to the Dalits, Adivasis and marginalized communities in educational institutions and the government jobs or the government employment. So these 3 points we discussed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us move to the one story of a Dalit. How a place, a village, how cruel practices still or inhuman practice still prevail. Can someone read for me? A village of
So can I read?
please.
Scanner.
The villagers of Jakmalgur are gearing up for a big festival.
Ah.
Once in 5 years, the local deity is honored, and priests from 20 neighboring villages come for this 5-day event. The
Okay.
ceremony begins with a member of the Dalit community washing the feet of all priests and then bathing in the water used for this.
Yes.
In Jakmalgur, the person who performed this task belonged to Ratnam's family.
Yes.
His father and grandfather had both performed the same task before him. Though they were never allowed to enter the temple, this ritual was viewed as a great honor bestowed on them on this special occasion. Now it was Ratnam's turn. Ratnam was all of 20 years studying engineering in a nearby college. He refused to perform the ritual.
He said, continue.
He said that he had no faith in this practice and that his family members were forced to perform this ritual because they were Dalits. Ratnam's refusal angered both the powerful caste in the village and some families from his own community. The powerful caste were shocked that such a young boy had the guts to refuse. They believed that it was Ratnam's education which allowed him to imagine that he could start comparing himself with them.
Continue, please.
Those from Ratnam's own caste were fearful of angering the powerful. Many worked on their fields as daily wage laborers. If the dominant caste decided not to call them, then what would they earn? How would they survive? They also declared that the wrath of the local deity would strike them if they refused to give in. Ratnam argued that given that not a single Dalit had ever entered the temple, how could the deity be angry with them?
Continue, please.
The powerful caste decided to teach Ratnam a lesson. His community was ordered to ostracize him and his family, and everyone was told that no one should speak or do any work for them or with them. One night, some men entered their part of the village and set his hut on fire. He managed to escape with his mother. Ratnam then went to file a case in the local police station under the Scheduled Caste and the Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act in 1989. Other Dalit families still did not come out in his support as they were scared that a similar fate might await them if they spoke out. The case was picked up by the local media that led to many journalists visiting the village. Ratnam was written about as a symbol of Dalit action. The ritual was called off, but his family was forced to move out as they continued to be ostracized by the powerful caste in the village.
Thank you, people. Now, you have gone through this story. How many of you feel the practice was correct? What was the practice? Hello?
Sir, to wash
Dalits should wash the feet of
Dalits should
of
wash the
priest.
feet of
and
all the priests and then he has to bathe in that water. The practice is correct?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Don't you think if you closely observe in your village areas, some kind of practice may be there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So imagine you are in that particular place and you are not happy with a particular religious practice. You have a guts to oppose?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But do you feel you have guts? I'll agree. But your parents will support that.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Parents may not support, no? Parents say that you don't know because you will shout now and after that you will go to school. And after that you don't know what are the problems which we are going to face.
Afterwards, parents will suffer.
Yes. So ostracize means this is a very common in India. If you see, there are a lot of, that's why I told you inhuman practices. Inhuman practices. Have you heard about manual scavengers?
No, sir.
No,
No, no.
Yes, sir. I think who kills man.
No, no, no,
Who eats?
no, no. How many of you had the practice of watching Amir Khan's one show was there, no? Satyameva Jayate. Have you heard of this?
I watched a few episodes of that.
Yes.
I watched a few episodes.
Okay. There are certain villages. There are few villages in northern India where the Dalits or the lower caste people were asked to clean the
Workers.
village and the human waste. No, they were asked to clean that human waste and they are supposed to dispose it. That's called a manual scavengers. It's a very inhuman practice, but it is still there, practiced. Dasharath Manji. Dasharath Manji's story, you don't know?
I know, sir. He made a road between a mountain, sir,
Yes.
by his
Yes,
hand
sir.
only.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course,
And
his story was
yes, sir.
On him, a movie was also made, sir.
yes.
Yes,
His
sir.
story was not related to Dalits, what, but there are several because Satyameva Jayate is was an episode which highlighted such problems in India. So here you see, it's a inhuman practice that someone should ask to wash the legs or the feet of a priest, and from the water of from that water he has to bathe. So it's a very inhuman practice because it is an insult or below the human dignity, isn't it? So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
a
Yes.
young boy Ratnam, he is an engineering graduate. He is pursuing an engineering degree. He felt this practice is wrong. So he opposed that practice. He said that no, we are not going to do this. And he said that we are not going to do this because we never allowed to enter the temple. But at that time, in the village, the people started saying that yes, this boy is arguing because he's educated, he's getting education, or his education makes him to argue. And few others people from his own caste said that now we are going against the village or we're going against the god, so definitely there will be curse from the god. A lot of arguments, these are very common things in India, isn't it? But Ratam says that
Yes,
I never entered the inside temple, then how god may curse him, curse me or my caste. Finally he was stick to his principle of not to go with the practice. Then what happened? The people of that village, they burnt his house. Somehow he managed to escape from the hut and survived and filed a case in the police station under Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act. Okay. So what happened to him? We'll study in the next class. But please have a glance, talk to your parents, talk to your father, grandfather, or someone. You may come across these kind of practices even in your village. Certain practices, it is told only the Dalits will do. Certain practices maybe still prevail in India. Thank you. Take
Yes,
care.
sir. Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye,